Ripple wins their case against the SEC, at least partially. XRP is not a security, and the SEC actually did their job. Wait, what? When Lambo. I'm such a degen. Welcome to Degenny from the blockchain, where we defy logic. And in this episode, we're going to go through the day that was July 13th, 2023, and why that may be the second biggest and most important day, or second most important day in crypto history behind the Genesis block. And what are the implications of Ripple in their partial victory against the SEC? Let's get right into it with our article here from CoinDesk from the day after the decision that came down. So this is July 14th. And we have what Ripple's partial XRP win means for other crypto firms fighting the SEC. Coinbase and Binance have a new precedent to cite in court. If the decision survives potential appeal, that's not a sure thing, says lawyers. And as we all know, a U.S. court ruling partially in Ripple's favor may augur well for other cryptocurrency firms fighting litigation from the SEC if the decision survives a potential appeal. If we go down to this portion of the article, we have a Thursday summary judgment by the U.S. Southern District Court of New York ruled that certain sales and distributions of XRP tokens by Ripple and its executives were not investment contracts and therefore don't break securities laws, as the SEC alleged in a 2020 civil lawsuit. Like we needed 2.5 years to figure that out. The industry latched on to the news that a federal judge had essentially declared token sales on exchanges weren't investment contracts, even though institutional sales of XRP to hedge funds and the like were deemed securities in the same ruling. We don't have to go into too much detail here. That's pretty much the gist of this partial victory in the summary that Ripple versus the SEC was that XRP, the token itself, is a utility token to use within the Ripple blockchain and within crypto in Web3 as a utility token. And the way that XRP was packaged up and sold to investors much early on in the process, that particular packaging of XRP to seed investors of this is a security and an investment contract. That's basically what it comes down to. But XRP itself and presumably all other crypto are utility tokens. I've said this a million times in so many videos that crypto is a currency. I don't even believe it's a commodity. I believe it's a currency where you're taking your fiat dollars, euro, whatever it is, and you are exchanging that for XRP or another crypto to use within that ecosystem. It's no different than going to an international exchange at an airport and exchanging out your US dollars for the Mexican peso because you just landed in Mexico and you're going to interact with the financial ecosystem of Mexico. Just like I mentioned, if you're to buy ADA, let's say, you are to interact with the Cardano blockchain. Just change out the wording. You buy the Mexican peso so you can interact with the Mexican blockchain, aka their fiat currency system. So yes, that's basically what this is. The court rejects the view that cryptocurrency tokens are securities, which has previously led to widespread confusion. And there's no way to look at the Ripple decision as anything but a win for the crypto industry. XRP is not a security, and the companies and executives' transactions in XRP on the secondary market do not violate the securities laws. That's right. What retail are buying on Coinbase, for example, now are not securities. You're buying a simple currency with your fiat money. That's the way I see it, and that's what I've said for a while. So they're not violating securities laws. And we just see here that in addition to the sales of XRP on exchanges, other distributions, including to employees and sales of the token by executives Garlinghouse and co-founder Christian Larson, were also ruled not securities. It's just awesome. But then here we go. This is where the little tease in the beginning that the SEC did their job comes into play. On the other hand, the fact that institutional sales of XRP were deemed investment contracts supports SEC Chair Gary Gensler's views that virtually all initial coin offerings, or ICOs, are securities. A once popular fundraising method for crypto startups offer tokens to the public or privately to investors to raise capital for various projects. That is a security. That's where the SEC and Gary Gensler did their job. And I don't know what Ripple's going to have to pay, but about 730 million of that of XRP was sold in that way. So again, it is the it's the packaging of XRP, in the beginning of this whole thing that basically are securities. And getting on to the main point of this is that from now on, we might have a fair token launch with all crypto projects, because the landmark case that the cliche is in crypto that this is, with Ripple, partially winning the major part of this case, that crypto presumably as a whole is not a security, that we might have fair token launches now from here on forward, instead of ICOs or any seed investing, because that takes away any pump and dumps, that takes away any rug pulls, that takes away any unfair unlocking of tokens and just dumping. What we'll have is possibly a more regulated ICO, where there'll be more fair framework for retail buyers of this particular crypto. So the ICOs can still happen, they'll just happen in a much more fair token launch way. So what is a fair token launch? Well, you might ask that, and the answer is this. What is a fair token launch? This is from July 6th. This is from CoinGecko. A fair launch refers to an equal distribution of cryptocurrency token at a launch. This means everyone will have an equal opportunity to acquire tokens from the beginning, preventing insider trading and price manipulation. You can see the key takeaways here. And like we just said, basically preventing insider trading, price manipulation, pump and dumps, rug pulls, and unfair unlocks of the token that lead to dumps. So that's great. And this is where, you could say that the SEC did their job. The SEC is supposed to protect retail investors. That's the wording, basically in a nutshell, of what the SEC is and what they're supposed to do for United States citizens. And I know I just said that you're buying crypto and converting your fiat to a cryptocurrency, so we're not necessarily investing technically, but you are protecting investors as a whole in a financial market, um, by this ruling. So the SEC actually did their job, and Gary Gensler did their job. They just went about it in such a nasty way, just a nasty, nasty way, by just enforcing, you know, things upon exchanges, or in this case, a particular project. And then, with some projects like Atom, Cardano, or Cosmos, Cardano, Solana, Polygon, just listing them in various lawsuits against Coinbase and Binance. It's just a nasty way of doing business. But in the end, the SEC actually did their job by protecting retail, with what we would think now would be a more regulated ICO phase of projects. So, what's next on the docket? That was just the first bomb to drop on July 13th, 2023. What else did we have? Well, what normally would be a massive news story, I guess, would be the CEO of Celsius, Alex Mashinsky, getting arrested. Yeah, that's right. That also happened on July 13th, and I know we will remember that. We just don't really talk about it that much, because of all of 2022, we saw major collapses, right? And culminating with the FTX collapse and Sam Bankman-Fried's arrest. But this was a year in the making. This is from CNBC, so it was making mainstream news outlets. Published on July 13th, of course, that former Celsius CEO arrested. Company agrees to pay 4.7 billion in a settlement. And then the third bomb to drop on July 13th was that the first European Bitcoin ETF is set to launch in July this month after a 12-month delay. Demand for Bitcoin ETFs is currently high, as several financial institutions have applied for a spot Bitcoin ETFs in the United States. No thanks. Just real quick here, the Jacoby Bitcoin Exchange Traded Fund, the first European BTC ETF, is set to launch later this month on Euronext. Amsterdam Financial Times reported on July 13th. Jacoby Asset Management reportedly stated that the fund was on track for listing this month, as there was now demand for it following its initial 12-month hiatus because of the Terra Luna-induced crypto market collapse in 2022. I believe that was in May, right? And that started the entire rest of the year where we saw collapse after collapse after collapse, from BlockFi to Voyager to Celsius to FTX to Three Arrows to early in 2023, Silvergate Bank. We see Signature Bank, and we see the other S Bank that you guys can drop in the comments that I'm forgetting. But that was the third story of the day, which again would normally lead a day in crypto news. So it's crazy that those three things happened on the same day, July 13th. Ripple gets a huge partial victory against the SEC, where crypto as a whole seems to not be securities and will never be securities, certainly XRP. And Alex Mashinsky arrested the Celsius CEO, as we continue to see the SEC do their job, or government entities do their job in the United States, continuing the crackdown on nefarious and illegal centralized entities within crypto. It's never been a blockchain. It's never been a blockchain issue. It's never been a crypto issue. It's only been a centralized crypto entity issue, and they continue to do their job. Oh, I'm way behind here. Yeah, European Bitcoin ETF to launch. So that's it, right? So July 13th, 2023, a new precedent is set. A new precedent is set because we see that crypto as a whole is not a security. It's not a security. The actual tokens are not securities. The way they are packaged up possibly could be. So, what we're doing now is legal. DCAing into quant, buying up some ADA, buying Algorand at the bottom. These are all legal activities that you and I are doing, and don't let anybody else tell you that they are not legal. Okay? That's what we're doing. So July 13th, 2023, a new precedent is set. Let's just recap everything going through the timeline. The second most important day in crypto history, Ripple wins the lawsuit partially versus the SEC, and secondary sales of XRP are cleared of US securities laws, potentially setting precedent. And the Celsius CEO, Alex Mashinsky, was arrested also on July 13th, continuing the discipline of fraudulent centralized crypto entities. And the Jacoby Bitcoin ETF in Europe is set to launch this month after a 12-month hiatus, citing the Terra Luna collapse and what it did to the optics around crypto as a whole throughout the world. Amazing, amazing day in crypto history. We're going to look back at this and remember this day as what shaped the future of crypto. That's my opinion. That's my prediction. What is your prediction? Tell me down below in the comments. What do you think July 13th, 2023 is going to mean to crypto and blockchain and Web3 as we move forward into this beautiful technology that seems to be taking a turn for the better now, and we could see implemented hopefully within the next couple of years and catch that big bull run and have a massive parabolic run, and we can all celebrate that we were here early and that you were watching Degenny from the blockchain. But always do your own research, because this is not financial advice. It's just my blockchain reaction. Thank you for watching. Hey, thank you for watching to the very end. And before you go, please subscribe to the channel, crank up that like button, drop a comment, and share the video. If you want to join me on the VEUIT platform, the Web3 streaming platform, I'm going to migrate all my content over there and create new content on the blockchain. My referral link is in the description below.